killing time, you and I. Hours, minutes, days and nights, trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I. In this moment we're alive, infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine. In time.
I know a lot of you guys were thinking is she just gonna skip a Best of Beauty 2020 video, and I almost did, but better late than never. So honestly in 2020 I didn't wear that much makeup. It was all about skincare for me and like self-care, but I think the big trend for makeup in 2020, at least for me, was all about convenience, getting ready quick for your Zoom call, and also mask smudge proof makeup. So that's gonna be the theme of what I'm gonna be discussing today, and I bring you guys a full face of makeup just using a few of the favorite beauty products I used in 2020. So it's gonna be a little different from previous years, but I still did it and I hope you guys love it. So let's get started. Okay, let's do this. First off, my lips are so dry that it's actually like bleeding in the inside. So I'm going in with this lip serum. It's something that's not greasy. It's just like a nice layer on top that gives a good actual base before applying lip products as well. So I actually have my skincare and SPF all done, so we're going to dive straight into makeup. And I'm actually not that big of a primer person. You guys probably know in my channels, I don't really talk about primers as much, but I do love like 3 primers out in the market, and one of them is the TATCHA Silk Canvas Primer. So this is the liquid version. They also have the more solid version as well. This is a new launch from 2020, and this year I actually just like ended up using more primer than usual, and I think that's because I really wanted on the days I did wear makeup for my makeup to be a little bit more smudge proof, especially under my mask. So kind of focusing more so on the areas that are touching my mask. If I'm wearing this N95, it's gonna be touching right around my nose area and here. So that's kind of where like I focus my primer a little bit more. Little bit of this goes a very long way. You know, I just realized I still have these curlers on. I've had these on for like an hour this morning, so just want a little bit more volume, you know? Okay, I'm just gonna take this off. It's really just been about convenience, getting ready for your morning call, or just like being TikTok ready. Like sometimes the only reason I would put makeup on was to make sure I can do TikToks, right? So I wanted my makeup to be like seamless, 5 minutes, and that's why a cushion is like your best friend there. And this is a cushion that I've actually never introduced in my YouTube channel. I've been meaning to do like a cushion review for so long, and I promise you it's coming in the next month or two. So subscribe if you want to see my cushion reviews. But you guys know I've talked about this Laneige in like 2 separate videos. It's one of my favorites from 2020. But because I've showed you guys the application and like a full review of this one, I wanted to show you guys another cushion favorite from this year with application. So this one is a vegan cushion from Amuse. It's a new favorite makeup discovery from Amuse. Honestly, I could do a Best of Beauty 2020 using all of just their products, and I thought about that, but you know what? This one is a big highlight of it. It's very uncommon for like a Korean beauty product to actually say like in their product description that it's vegan, but I think that is a new trend going forward in Korea as well. But anyways, like just the packaging of this says it all. And look at the inside packaging as well. So there's a mirror that comes attached to this. Oh, actually this is very full coverage. So I was thinking of showing you guys this application on just one side of the face, and then if I'm not using a cushion like this, then I just go in like spot treat with concealer. So I'm going to use my favorite concealer on the other side. So this side we're just going to be using this one, and the puff that it comes with is actually great as well. A lot of times the puff that cushion foundations come with is not that great, so I end up using like different puffs or like my brushes instead. But this one is fabulous. So what I love about this one is the fact that it is very high coverage, but not like overwhelming in the sense that, you know, it looks like your face is like caked up. This actually gives you like a very natural look, but it's very high coverage that you don't need concealer at all after using this. This one is great because it gives you a natural glow. See, I only use like 2 pumps of this cushion on. Look at the coverage I'm getting from just like 2 pumps of this. It is so high coverage. Okay, so this is gonna be the side with the cushion on and this side without. Can you see the difference? And then on this side, I'm going to introduce you guys to my favorite concealer of 2020. It's a new brand that I discovered once again in Korea this summer. There's a trend with my best of skincare and beauty 2020 is that more than half of the products are going to be products I discovered in Korea this summer. It was such a transformative trip for me. And Gesgep, their Bare Pads is something that I introduced in my best of skincare 2020 as well. So this is a brand that was started by like two of the most famous makeup artists in Korea, Son and Park, and they rebranded it, their original brand, to Gesgep, and they now have skincare as well as makeup. But I had really high expectations for their makeup just because they are like known for their makeup talent, right? It's more than I would usually use, but I want to show you guys what it is. And this is in shade 02, and kind of blend that out. And there are very few concealers after I use it I'm like completely wowed by. I feel like for a concealer, it just does its job. It doesn't crease. Then, you know, if it color matches, that's it for me. But this is a concealer that just like, even from the start, just wowed me so much. So now like this is my go-to concealer if I have important events to go to or like just want to spot treat very effectively. Wow, that is one flawless base. So this is side with the Amuse cushion, and this side is with the Gesgep concealer, just fully on both sides. And I can certainly tell the difference, can you guys? Because I feel like this side has certainly more of that glow factor, while as this one has more of like the matte finish. But it is truly such a good concealer to like spot concealer certain parts of it. So you can technically use both sides, but I just wanted to show you guys how high coverage both of them are. So I do feel like both of them made my skin a little lighter, so I want to definitely go in with a little bit of a bronzer. And I also fell in love with a few bronzers this year, and one of them is the Kosas. I did a full video on their Kosas ones. I do have the shade Light. Sometimes I mix it with light and medium. Light doesn't do that much for me. It's kind of more like the very, very subtle tint. It's also great for like no makeup days when you don't want to make it obvious that you are using a lot of bronzers. So that's when this one just does a very, very subtle tint. But if you do want a little bit more, either use a darker shade. But another one that I discovered is from Vesca. This is shade Kissed by Rio. So it's like a soft matte bronzing powder. So yeah, bronzing powders was like the thing this year too. So this year I've steered away from using more like in the face kind of bronzers, unlike last year. And just look at this one, definitely has a little bit more color than the Kosas, so it's nice for like layering on as well. It also has like this like really nice smell to it. I think bronzers are pretty important in 2020 because we all like didn't travel at all. I didn't have a chance to get tan or anything, so just making my face give a nice healthy glow was important. And I feel like both of these bronzers does a really good job of giving you that kind of healthy glow. And then one more thing that I discovered, and I talked about this in my TikTok multiple times, is this hair shadow one that I also got this in Korea in the summer from Olive Young. Kind of matches like my hair, and what you do is like there's a pump underneath it, and you just kind of rub it in a little bit until it becomes dark, and then you like cover in your hairline, because as you can see I don't have that much hair right here. So doing this like and kind of coloring it, like sometimes bronzers can do it, but like I feel like it's much more natural when you use a product like this one. And also this matches your hair color line a lot more than like your typical bronzer. So that's when I use it for one side. And by doing that, you're like minimizing the size of your face, so in a way, so your face also looks pretty small too. If anything, brows were like the big focus of this year. I'm not big of a brow person, but I did get this in Korea after a makeup artist introduced this product to me. So it's Uemura. I use this on days when I want a little bit more of a defined brow look, especially if I'm going outside and, you know, like just wearing a mask. So I would focus a little bit more on my brows. And I feel like in Korea, this has been a trend for like a few years now, but it's like ilja brows. So you kind of draw your brows in just like kind of like a one-lined shape, but not going too intense with it. Just going along with the natural brow shape is exactly what I'm doing. And this color is a little bit lighter than my natural brow shade, so that's why I either go in with like an eyeshadow palette or like a brow gel on top of this. Okay, can't multitask. Another easy, really good trick is to just use a brow gel, especially in the morning when you just woke up and have to get ready for your Zoom call and stuff. This is a trick, and this is Hailey Bieber's favorite brow gel, I know. Use it against your brow, and this makes your brow like stay put for the whole day. This is one of my favorite brow gels, and I have to say I like this one more than the Boy Brow from Glossier now. I really don't do much for the eyes at all. This is like my new favorite like base product. So you guys know like everyone has their favorite like base color, and mine is kind of like that muted beige brown tone. And it used to be one from MAC that I've used for years, but this one is my new favorite from Chantecaille. And as you can see, like just one shade does so much of a big difference. And you can also use this to like give a little bit of like shadow on your eyebrow and then contour your nose area right there. It's very natural as well, like that. But overall, this is like the one product that I use on my eye, and because it makes such a subtle difference, this is typically like all I do for my eyes on a normal basis. But if I do want a little bit more oomph to my eyes, that's when I go in with a little bit of glitter, and this one is from Armani that they sent me. You can use your brush, but sometimes I find it more effective if I just use my fingers. So let me show you if I use it with the brush on just the eyelids. I actually really don't like that much glitter on my eyes. So sometimes I just go in with this for a subtle look, and then also use my fingers here for the other side like that. A lot more pigment compared to this side, but it's such a gorgeous shimmery palette that doesn't feel overwhelming. It actually looks very classy on the eyes. So that's pretty much all I do for my eyes. And then mascara is like the whole point. So I've been using different lash serums this year to like lengthen my eyes. I actually haven't been using it for like the past month because traveling, holidays and stuff, but so it's a little bit shorter than I would want. But this one is something that I actually worked with like NARS on a campaign in the summer, and I fell in love with this. So I had to get a new one as well, but this is like, this was an emphasis on like, you know, your going out eyes, even if you're staying at home, and just like grabbing all the attention to your lashes. And it does exactly that, even for someone who doesn't really have long lashes. Like you have to see this on people who actually have lashes, and it makes such a big difference. But just that difference, you see the difference? Brings a little bit more dramatic eyes to action, which is why I love this Climax mascara. Highlighters. So this year is the year where I kind of strayed away from the powder highlighters, because if you have powder highlighters and then you're wearing a mask on top, that's where it touches it and it kind of makes it look really messy. So I've been leaning a little bit more towards subtle cream highlighters. I just want that natural glow from skincare, but this is one from Westman Atelier that I'm almost like done with, but it's so lovely that I just glide it on like that. It kind of reminds me of the RMS ones, but this is a lot more creamier than the RMS ones and easier to use because it's in like a stick form like this. Glide it on like that. And it actually doesn't like, you know, like move around your makeup at all. And I love using it on my cheekbones. You can also use it kind of like on your nose tip, under your brow bone, but such a lovely highlighter. And I think this is the one product that I think is really worth it out of all the Westman Atelier products. I've tried their foundation as well, but I prefer like the foundations and cushion foundation I've showed you guys before, but this highlighter is such a good one. Look at like it gives you like that glass skin translucent kind of look with this highlighter. It's like the perfect last touch to that. And as for blushes, you know, I really didn't wear that much blush this year. I've been such a big blush girl, but this year I really didn't find need to wear like strong, to your point, blushes, but instead the trend was more, very muted, toned down blushes. And I think that's going to be the continued trend for 2021. And here again is the Amuse one. This is like, this shade just screams at me. It's everything I love about a blush, and look at the star print right here. So it's so cute to use right here. And you can, you know, blend it out with your fingers or a brush like this. I'm just gonna blend it out. And what I like doing is I kind of like use like a little bit left on the brush to, you know, kind of create that butterfly effect with my nose area and blend it out. It's like a nice like shimmery peachy tone, very, very muted. It's such a nice little like peachy flush that I haven't really encountered a shade like this in the past, and now I'm like, I want all the peach shades now. Lastly, lips. All about lips this year. I actually love all kinds of lipsticks, but for when I do go outside, I need a lip that is smudge proof. And I just have to say, like, the best smudge proof lipsticks that I encountered in 2020 were these ones from YSL Beauty. So they sent me a whole package. I'm so grateful. And these are my 4 favorite shades. I'm gonna link down my 4 favorite shades down below. My friend Chloe, she came over and she like swatched all of these with me and helped me pick my favorite shades. These are my 4 favorite shades, and I actually like combining some of the figures. We have like a mix of orange, red, kind of pinkish, and I especially want to show you guys this orangey shade. This is 214. It's so pretty, right? It's like definitely not a shade that I would usually wear, but I feel like the orange kind of coral in it goes really well with this Amuse blush together as a combo. And then sometimes if I want a little bit more red, I'll go in with this shade, which is 2-in-1. And then it's just like focus it in like the inside, you know, like the gradient lip that is a trend in Korea. So I do a tiny bit of that in the inside to create a little bit that gradient lip, but these 4 shades are so good and very, very good for when you are wearing masks as well. They also have these like lip glosses if you guys want more of like glossy lip. I'll just layer a little bit on top, why not? This is also 2-on-4, so it's the very same orange shade that I had on, but in gloss form. And I personally love glosses because I feel like it hides away all the chapped lips that I have. And this is also very nourishing and hydrating on top of that. So I don't feel like it's like adding on to my chapped lips. It actually makes it feel like it's, you know, healing it a little bit. Usually my Best of Beauty videos are a little longer. I introduce a lot more products in these kinds of videos, and maybe 2021 will be like that, but today I wanted to show you guys maybe like 1 or 2 top favorites from each category for a very simple muted down look. And I promise you I'm going to be doing a lot more makeup favorites and very like no makeup looks for your quarantine at home for 2021. So make sure you to subscribe to my channel below if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. But thank you so much once again for being such a good supporter of my channel, and I will see you guys soon.